Hello guys, welcome back to another lovely trading video. In this one we're going to be doing some in-depth stock analysis on Delta, ticker DAL. Why are we doing analysis on this? Well, as you can see on screen, it is up 8% from close on Friday. So just makes sense to maybe see where it's going, because a lot of people may be wondering where is our kind of price target for Delta. When can we see it maybe start pulling back, and where's maybe good sell or buy entries. So if we're on the daily chart, we always look firstly, is there any gaps that need to be filled, because more likely than not gaps do get filled and they tend to be a level of buying or selling pressure depending on which way it's going. And looking at this, we can see any gaps that were there have really been filled. None really stand out to me that clear. I mean, I guess you have this one down here, but again, not super clear, so you can have it, but it may not have the biggest reaction at that level. I instead like looking for the ones I created at the $41 mark. From Thursday's closed to Friday's open, we can see there was quite a big significant gap there, that whether you're looking for gaps or not, you're going to notice that. So more likely than not, coming into that level, you will get a lot of buying pressure as it comes down into this level. So that's going to be the main level we look for from a gap fill perspective. Then we go on to the flexible chart, so we can see the standard deviation on both the 4-hour and the daily. And we can start seeing where is this going to tell us where selling pressure is going to start coming in. So we can see it broke through the 42.50 level, and this is the first level where we would have said selling pressure would have came in. If we do go onto the 1-minute chart, we can see if there was we gapped straight through there, so we don't even see any pressure coming into there, which is one good thing, because if you're looking to get long, this will be the level to do that. Because more likely than not, what you'll see happen with Delta is that it's kind of come into this now half deviation on both the 4-hour and the daily, as you can see. And this will most likely trigger a pullback on Monday, and that pullback will most likely come all the way down to 42.50, and this will be the level. If it's going to continue higher, this will most likely be its pullback level. So if you're looking to get long, this could be quite a good level to be getting long at. Then continuing on to the standard deviation charts, we can start looking at price targets to the upside. So if we were long, where would we be looking to close out some of the position, if not all? And the first level that stands out will be the 45.90 level, kind of the $46 level, because that's the second deviation on the 4-hour chart. And very close to that, we have around 46.30 on the daily chart. Again, both of these levels is where we were looking to lock in kind of our first set of profit, if not all, depending on how you trade. But for me, this would be an area where I'd be looking to lock in a majority of profit, and maybe even start looking to get a bit short. Reason we would be getting short is the same thing. When you come into these deviation levels, you expect the pullback. So if you're long, it's why we lock in profits before. But as you're becoming oversold and you're coming into these high deviations, it makes more sense for the stock to start reversing. And as we can see on Delta, especially on the 4-hour, the deviations are heading downwards. So what that does tell us is it's still a downtrending stock, and it's more likely than not going to continue that trend, because as you know, the trend is kind of your friend until it's not. So you still kind of have to take the assumption that it will kind of continue down. So so the way at least I think of it is, if it's coming into the second deviation, no more, that means 95% of the data should be within these blue bands. So if Delta is coming into that second deviation, it makes sense to me from a statistical basis to at least get short, because it's more likely to carry on, because that's what the overall trend is, and you shouldn't see more than 5% of the data or 2.5% of the data outside of this top range. And why do I say 2.5%? Because within these blue bands, it's 95% of the data. But with standard deviations, you have that either side. So it means 2.5% of the data should be outside of this blue band, and 2.5% of the data should be without this outside of this band. So on a large cap stock, more likely than not, when you start seeing it trade out of the blue deviations, it's usually a good idea to start getting short, and if you are long, locking in a good amount of profit. So to me, that is that main level that I will start getting short at, around the 45.90 to 46.30. But if it does continue higher, where are our next sets of targets? That will be 49.30 and a bit higher at 49.80. The good thing that you're seeing with Delta as well is the deviations are very close to each other. this is usually quite a good thing because it makes the levels even more significant. So if you're looking for it to pull back at this level, for example, if you're getting short, more likely than not it's going to be a stronger pullback. And it also does mean that you don't have to kind of keep taking off profits quite gradually, because instead you've got one area that you're looking to take profits on. Because usually you get, let's say for example this half deviation was a full deviation, then you would have take some profits here, take some profits there, take some profit there, take some profit there, and it just means that you're continuously kind of taking off profit quite quickly. Whereas these having deviations close together, it allows you to kind of increase your profit potential. And lastly, the kind of main target will be at 53.30. And to the downside, for if some reason it kind of pulls back to the 42.50 and instead doesn't continue but instead fails further down. If we don't reverse at the gap fill, then we'll be looking at 39.30, 55.70, and again you can just look at the deviations to see where your levels will be. But those are kind of our overall levels. Now, one thing I do keep seeing the comments on is what do I think is actually going to be happening. Yes, these are our price targets, but I will give my own opinion on what I can see happening with Delta, just so depending on how you trade, that might help you. For example, if you're holding puts, you might be like, okay, where do you expect it to go? So I'll just give my opinion. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but just kind of my opinion on what I think will happen. So with Delta, I see it pulling back to 42.50. So I would imagine this will happen on Monday, Tuesday. Pull back to the 42.50. Then I do think it will continue higher. So I think it will pull back to 42.50, push higher, and come into the 45.90 level / 46.30 level. Now, when it comes into here, this is where I kind of see it being the top for the time being, and getting a heavy pullback, and if not, a reversal. And so that's all I'm really going to say, because you can't really play out or even kind of predict what's going to happen weeks and months down the line. But having a short-term plan like that would be mine, may just help you have some kind of insight. So quickly to summarize, I think it's going to pull back from this $44 level into 42.50. Then I think buying pressure will come in and we will actually push higher into the 45.90 / 46.30 level. Once from there, you're kind of on your own and you can kind of just look at our price targets. If it does continue higher, we will have price targets of 49.30 / 80. And if it decides to reverse at this level, we will kind of have, if you're short, lock in areas of 42.50, 30, or we don't want to have that level. Yeah, so 42.50, 39.30 will be kind of our key short areas to start locking in profits. And again, if you're looking for buy zones a bit later on, we're coming into kind of the gap fill, and also the first deviation on the 4 hour, so down to like the $35 levels. So hope that gives you some insight on what's going to be happening with Delta. If that helped, definitely drop a like and subscribe. Hope to see you in the next one, and that's it. Peace.
I wanna go, I wanna fly, I wanna take myself